I'm not even mad at the producers. You can't let the devil use you. They had to have a vessel.
Okay, Mariah, that's how you clock a cast for being silly.
Check that.
The Married to Medicine cast really needs to cut the bull because the second part of season 10 was really sad to watch. Did they really have to make it so painfully obvious that they absolutely loathe Quad? And I'm not saying Quad had no parts to play in some of the fallouts with these girls, but I also think for the show to work, there's no way the cast itself can play HR and then pick and choose which colleagues they want to work with. Okay, check that. Especially on an ensemble show like this one, where there tends to be a lot of drama, many ups and downs, and a constant sink or swim situation. Now, who gets to decide when the drama has crossed the line?
I don't know, you tell me.
But it seems this cast has made the decisions for themselves because, and I quote, there's no emotional attachment left.
And so that's when people say things like, well, she's the face of the show. Is she? Because I don't know if that's what Married to Medicine really was supposed to be about. I know that we need drama to make reality TV, but I don't know if that's the kind of drama that we want or if that's the kind of drama that we perpetuate.
See, it has been a long time coming because when Toya caught up with Carlos King early last year, she went in on Quad about the kind of drama she has brought to the show. It's quite clear that these ladies think Quad has long crossed the line and long burned down the most important bridges on the show.
My sister done burnt too many bridges, and there's nothing I can do for her now.
And so now we have Toya, Heavenly, Jackie, and Simone referring to themselves as the Core Four. Now, I love this cast, and I do think Married to Medicine is such a good show still, more so this past season. But I think with everything happening right now at the Real Housewives of Atlanta, there should be some concern and some wake-up calls to the cast as to what the very discerning audience won't be putting up with in the future. Talking about the Core Four when really people are begging for all these shows to freshen things up dramatically in order to keep them tuning in. In actual fact, I must agree with Mariah saying, and I quote, I think they've gotten very complacent. I just think that, like medicine, the show has to evolve. And it's not evolving. It's just not. Talking about a Core Four.
That ghetto shit gotta go.
Yeah.
This is not married to hip-hop.
Speaking of the Core Four, the OGs and the group hierarchy within the friend group, I thought it was pretty weird when Dr. Jackie was taken aback when Sweet Tea called her out on the double standards. See, Sweet Tea clocked the matriarch for having participated in bringing up Quad and Greg's marriage despite her being the new wife. Now, when it's time for your marriage to be on the table, you put down a set of rules and threaten not to film with the ladies on the girls' trip.
Don't even begin because I will drag you.
And then, when Sweet Tea dropped the F-bomb, Heavenly, Toya, and Simone gave confessionals saying, oh, Jackie is definitely cutting her out. There's no way they can resolve that. It was icky, okay, because the show needs to move forward, and the way they've set it up now, it will continue to stagnate. For all the differences on the show through the seasons and most recently, seeing Quad being literally kicked out from a couple of events felt like some kind of humiliation ritual, okay? But as we now know, this group is trying to ice her out and wants her to be kicked off the show completely. One of the final comments at the finale was really about how only Quad can kick Quad off the show, when in actual fact, okay, we saw the group ice her out and stifle any opportunity for a reconciliation. The looks on their faces when Quad walked in at the Med Gala, and then the walkout staged by Toya and Heavenly, instead of giving us a show to show us how they navigate conflict in their friendships, it just felt more and more like they are giving her no choice but to, live the show? She has no one to film with. It could have been Phaedra, who came in adjacent to Quad on the show. Playing a ghost producer, Phaedra produced that creepy resurrection ceremony that I found really funny. Quad got out of the casket child and tried mending fences with the girls, and it landed flat because they were not very receptive of that. I'm also going to be honest about Quad's whole approach to that situation. Now, I do think she could have been a little bit more open to being accountable and taking some of the blame in how things have turned out in this friend group. Instead, she was very combative and did not create an environment where an authentic and vulnerable conversation could be heard. I mean, I think she could have at least acknowledged the ways she has hurt Toya with the thief remarks and all of that mess. In fact, I think Quad still has a lot of honest conversations to be had. But I also think that goes for all of the women in the show. The inability, though, to navigate that has ended up giving us a season that was now very somber and pitifully sad. And as a result, Quad barely appeared on the show. She became a shadow figure pushed to the sidelines of a show she's helped build, and to be honest, a show she has carried for a hot minute now. It was the weirdest thing to watch because she had no actual storyline. She barely got the treatment of an actual cast member, let alone one of the most recognizable faces. Her scenes were cold and it felt like she was alone a lot of the times. There's also the fact that Quad's overall production treatment was just weird. Whack. That's what it was. Now, I won't be taking sides because really, I think this season of Married to Medicine was actually quite solid. This is a really great cast with a lot going on that other reality shows are lacking at the moment. The ratings were decent throughout the season, and the new faces did a thing to shake things up and bring some fresh energy. And I'll get into that shortly, but the way the long-standing ensemble of the show treated Quad left a bitter taste and, dare I say, raises concerns about the future direction of the show. Do we think the show can correct themselves? Bravo has already shown they mean business about reviving these shows, even if they take drastic measures to do so. Can the Married to Medicine women get it together somehow? Stick around as we get into it, and I'll also be looking at Phaedra and Sweetie's debuts on the show. Did you win with the girls, producer? Clap back in the comments, smash the like button, and subscribe to the channel. Welcome back to the Quench channel. Now, Married to Medicine recently wrapped up its 10th season with a nostalgic get-together. The cast reflected on their decade of friendships, their highs and their lows on a couple's trip. Now, not only was Quad absent from the whole thing, but she was also not featured much in those particular flashbacks. It kinda undermined the credibility of that celebration in my opinion, but it's understandable that she couldn't be there because of the fallout with the girls. Phaedra was there though, giving us absolutely nothing, and that is despite being the only single lady there. And she was there despite having no real connection to the world of medicine, which undermines the idea that Quad is being iced out because she's no longer linked to Greg. Instead, Greg's new wife, Sweetie, has joined the cast full-time. I have to start by saying that Phaedra is great television. She's funny, witty, whimsical, stylish, and just so on point for reality. And she gave us some pretty quirky moments in her debut season, including that resurrection and that chakra massage thing that happened. And personally, I just find Phaedra so fascinating, even though some of her moves can look bogus and contrived. I'll also give Sweetie some high marks because I enjoyed her on the show. She's now the youngest among the ladies, but she really brought her own energy. We know by now that Married to Medicine has a swing or swim culture, and I love that Sweetie definitely stayed afloat in all fronts. I'm excited to see her growth and evolution on the show, and Sweetie, it's your time, mama. We now have the reunion special promo, and I must say it's looking pretty good. They aren't really giving much away, obviously, but we can all tell Quad is crying all the way to the 11th season, please. I see Sweetie clocking in, Simone hollering. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Let us know what you think in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. Until next time, bye.